What's up, guys? We are back with Tokyo Ghoul Chapter 81, Subordinate. Last chapter ended off really, um, it was really cool, man, seeing Akira's introduction. I'm really excited to see how hers and Amon's relationship is going to evolve, or how it's going to start off, because it looks like it's starting off pretty rocky already, just the way that she's been looking at him. So I'm excited to see where this goes. So yeah, let's get into it. And also, it's pretty interesting that we're getting such a like CCG sort of like focus, with these two chapters seemingly. Um, I'm not complaining, but it's definitely interesting. Um, all right, so let's get into it. Amon, congratulations on your promotion. Some of us end our career stuck at rank 1 investigator to reach senior investigator at only 27. Wow. Thanks, Saito. Juzo's a rank 2 like me. Hey guys, before we start, I'd like to introduce you to someone. We have a new member joining the 20th Ward Squad. Come in. Here she is. Rank 2 investigator Akira assigned to the 20th Ward branch. I'm really curious just to see like what her personality is going to be like. If it is more in line with her father, right? Which I'm kind of getting the feeling that it kind of is, just based off of the way that she was looking at Amon last chapter. Or is she gonna be more, just kind of like reserved and quiet? You shall find out. I've been assigned to work with Senior Investigator Amon. It's nice to meet you all. What a surprise! So it was you, Akira. Oji, great to see you again. What's she doing in the 20th Ward? Hey, Takizawa, you look good. Saito, you know her? We're academy mates. Akira graduated at the top of her class and Saito was right below her. Don't bring it up. I'm Juzo. Nice to meet you, Mata. Nice to meet you too, Suzuya. I like your hairpins. She used to work the first ward under Arima's command. He speaks highly of her. Oh, interesting. So she was under Arima, huh? So let's make her feel at home. Welcome to our squad, Akira. Thank you, sir. Special Investigator Amira's team, huh? Alright, let's start today's briefing. That's what I'm saying. Like, she was underneath Amira. Or Arima. That's pretty crazy. We've yet to find any reliable information that ties the binge eater to our cases, but we're sifting through newspaper articles between September and November of last year, around the time the binge eater disappeared. We're compiling a list of cases and accidents that may be related to the binge eater. We're combing through each of these cases. With the help of Nakajima and other members of the 20th Ward, we've finally gone through about a third of them. If my guess isn't wrong, we should catch a break eventually. The issue is time. Taki, tell us what's going on with the gourmet. Yes, sir. We've received reports of recent activities by the gourmet outside the 20th Ward. Alright, and so where the gourmet is, we'll also know that's where Kaneki is, right? We've enlisted the help of investigators in wards 7, 8, and 18, where the gourmet is believed to have been sighted. The 7th ward is also where the Ghoul restaurant we've been investigating is, which we'll be raiding tomorrow. Yes, sir, and we can't rule out the gourmet's ties to it yet. I wonder why the gourmet is so hung up on those wards lately. We believe he's found victims that suit his taste in those wards. No, his main dish is in another ward. What? Let's hear it, Akira. During the period where the total number of feeding cases drastically dropped, the gourmet must have met with some kind of accident or perhaps was recovering after an attack by a fellow ghoul. She's good, man. According to the files, the number of the gourmet's feeding cases rose close to peak levels soon after that, but then it dropped once again. The gourmet held back on feeding from around January of this year. That coincides with the gourmet's first feeding in the 18th ward that took place recently. Another one of your gut feelings, Investigator Mata? If you don't mind, I'd like to tell you a hunch I have, Investigator Takizawa. Comparing the graph and the map, you'll see that the gourmet's recent behavior pattern is noticeably different. The 18th, 7th, and 8th wards, the gourmet has been going back and forth between these three wards, with no signs of feeding anywhere else. It's believed that the gourmet's feeding territory is the 20th ward. However, Ordinarily, the gourmet is the type of ghoul that goes from ward to ward, carefully selecting his prey. But recently, the gourmet's area of activity has been restricted, almost as if the gourmet is obsessed with something. God, she's good, man. She's so good. Um, the gourmet's taste doesn't seem as particular as before. A local search will not yield the delicacy the gourmet seeks. It goes against the gourmet's aesthetic. The feedings in these three wards are merely improvised. There's a specific prey that's being targeted. Perhaps the target is hard to acquire, dragging this out. The targeted prey is most likely in the 6th ward. Interesting. The gourmet wants to avoid alerting the target. The 18th, 7th, and 8th are purely hunting grounds. Security in the 22nd and 23rd has been heightened since the attack. Therefore, there's a good chance the target is hiding in the 6th ward. Interesting. Maybe we should include the 6th ward in our investigation. A target the gourmet cannot capture. That's an interesting theory. Mato's daughter, Akira Mato. This is why I hate working with you. It's been this way since the academy. It just goes to show you haven't grown up. Shut up. Never thought my first subordinate would be my ex-superior's daughter. I should put my personal feelings aside and work with her like I would with any other investigator. This is really interesting, man. Um, Akira, take care of these files, will you? Yeah, sure. Hey, Akira, I'm a senior investigator and your superior. I'd like you to speak with me with with respect. I'm the kind of person who wants to eliminate as much waste as possible. What? Speaking with respect is a waste of time and energy, especially with a partner. It means we talk that much more. Take for example, please and will you. At my rate of speech, it takes zero point 0.9 seconds and zero point 0.3 seconds respectively. um, a zero point 0.6 second difference. I mean, she's not wrong, man. Cutting out the bullshit and just getting straight to the point. Yeah, totally fair. If I request something from you 10 times a day, that would save us about 2,000 seconds a year. There's a huge difference between having and not having those savings in our daily conversations. Um, to those I have enormous respect for, it's another story. Senior Investigator Amon, we've wasted 38 seconds. Let's not get hung up on minor things, and instead concentrate our efforts on the rabbit case. We should check out the Ghoul restaurant Takizawa was talking about tomorrow. I have a feeling we'll find something there. The assigned squad has to do their thing, so you don't mind if we go after the raid, do you? Why is that up to you? Right? She's the one that's basically like ordering him around. Um, does she not take me seriously because I used to work under her father? Akira's a complicated girl, but she's also simple at the same time. I think that thing about wasting time was a joke. Speaking logically about stupid stuff is just like her father. I considered it a joke myself. It's inexcusable behavior as a subordinate, but she may be testing you. She's a good investigator after all. I know it may be difficult for you too, especially with the thing with her father. I just want to, like Mato did for me, I want to teach her what I know. It's not going to be easy. Everybody's a beginner at first. It's easy to keep people in line with rank or age, but you won't earn real trust that way. Just become the kind of superior that she would respect, and if she still won't change, then she's a hopeless idiot. Eating and having drinks like this, going through life or death situations together, that's what creates a bond. Wasn't that how it was with you and Mato? Yeah. Think of it as a test to help you grow as an investigator. Besides, she doesn't have much field experience. Don't worry, you can do it. Invite her for a bite to eat after work. A bite to eat, huh? Yep, but man, I can't believe you finally understand how hard it is to be a boss. I'm so curious to see how this is gonna go. Um, right? Because it just feels like she's like Akira's not the type to, usually kind of like mull about and, have, dinners with, subordinates or even with colleagues, right? So seeing her in that environment, I think is going to be really, really fun. Um, Like, because I bet she's not the one to do small talk, right? It's just gonna be like about conversations about work. That's probably all that it's gonna be. So I'm gonna be interested to see that. Um, we were expecting to encounter quite a few ghouls, so we came in fast and strong. Senior investigator from the Seventh Ward. Oh, so they made it to the restaurant. But when you stepped in, you found this? Yeah. I thought we were on to something too. Now we got nothing. Oh, wow. So all of them are dead from the restaurant. Mind if I take a look around? No, go for it. About 50 or 60 ghouls, maybe. All dead. How gruesome. I wonder how many are like, who did this, right? Interesting. Do we really think the gourmet, like Sugiyama, actually did this? Um, this many of them couldn't have knowingly come here to be killed. The show began, but somebody uninvited showed up. In other words, whoever attacked this place had access to the restaurant. Yeah. This is just my hunch, but I feel like the gourmet is involved with this case. He most likely did this with help from others. It's hard to imagine one ghoul being responsible for this carnage. Yeah, one ghoul being able to kill 50 or 60 other ghouls is almost like impossible, right? I don't know if any ghoul that we've met, aside from maybe the owl, could probably do that, but there's no way the gourmet could have done this, alone by himself. Um, so a group with help from the gourmet snuck in. Yeah, definitely a group. It's probably what makes the most sense. Then they all butchered the ghouls in the restaurant. Something like that? No, it wasn't the gourmet. Take a look. Notice how the wounds look like they were inflicted by a coarse file? Those are made by the Rinkaku. Kagane. Each ghoul has a unique Kagane wound pattern. We can identify like we can a weapon by its rifling. It's possible the gourmet was involved, but the gourmet has a Kokaku. The gourmet didn't do this. The killer is most likely a ghoul I know. A Kinke split in two. How powerful was the Kagane that did this? Alright, so she's saying that it was a Rinkaku. God, but I'm forgetting like which part of the body is the Rinkaku because the Kokaku is like it's specifically a Kagane that's like comes like out of the arm, right? Or like the elbows as well. I'm guessing the Rinkaku is the type that like protrudes out of like the shoulder blades or whatever. Um, so I mean that all signs kind of point to Kaneki, right? And even Amon is kind of thinking that that this was probably the work of the eye patch. If there is a ghoul that could do something like this, it makes sense that a single ghoul could have killed all these ghouls. This ghoul you know of, who is it? The eye patch ghoul. I believe the eye patch will lead us to the rabbit. The eye patch ghoul, huh? These restaurant ghouls, how'd they get their hands on a kinke? They may have attacked a ghoul investigator. Very interesting. Okay, I can't believe ghouls have the know-how to disable a kinke's biometric signature. Just goes to show how deeply they've infiltrated themselves into the shadows of human society. It's our job to shed light on that shadow. She may lack experience, but she has the potential to overcome it. Akira, which means I have to work even harder. Want to grab a bite after we're done filing our report? I'll be finished in about 10 minutes. The answer is no. I'm sorry, but I try not to eat after 9. Thanks for your invitation, though. I'll leave my report here. It's time. Good night. Hey, Amon, want to join us for dinner? I feel like I'm not surprised one bit. But this is cute, man, because she has to like soften up to him at some point, right? She has to at some point there will be that development where they do eventually come to such a point or that there is a bond formed between the two where Akira does say yes to that proposal sometime in the future. And I can't wait for that moment. um, but it's like Shinohara said that it will probably require infield experience and it will require that sort of the two of them fighting alongside, like back to back, in a life or death situation for that true connection and bond to be formed, like it was with Mato and Amon. Um, and until that situation happens, Akira will still kind of be, a little distant from Amon, but I'm confident that moment will happen, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. Um, but the restaurant, man, if because it probably was Kaneki, but and his group, but I'm just curious to see like specifically why, right? I mean, we know the restaurant was like, what they were doing of like luring, innocent, people, or not necessarily innocent people, but that they were, luring people into the restaurant to, basically for, the entertainment of these, higher up, ghouls and whatnot. Um Almost like a gladiator like cage match sort of thing. Um I feel like that's probably motivation enough to want to put just to shut down the restaurant altogether. So that's probably why Kaneki would want to do this. Um, but yeah, it's still really really fascinating, right? Um, to kind of see that how that kind of went full circle, right? Of Kaneki, being in that position at one point in time, and now he's kind of the one to drop the curtain on the restaurant is like really really cool. Um, but yeah, man, that's pretty much it for this chapter, guys. Like, comment, subscribe for more Tokyo Ghoul, and I'll see you guys in the next chapter. Peace.